Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on what message your future self has for you. So we're gonna have 4 groups, and I'm also going to add an angel card to go along with it. Okay, so for pile 1 we have Angelite, and the card that is coming out is Forgiveness. All right, pile 2 we have Petrified Wood, and the card that goes along with that is Compromise. And pile 3, Kyanite and Communicate Clearly. And pile 4, is going to be Black Onyx and Listen to Your Intuition. So go ahead and select a pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Okay. Okay, group 1 with the Angelite stone. Here's your reading from your future self, message from your future self. So, a big thing that I'm seeing here is that your future self has a lot that it wants to communicate with you with this 8 of Wands right here. It's like, I see this as your intuition coming in, and it wants to come in really strong, and it's like messages that are meant for you, meant directly for you with this bow and arrow here, that are meant to help you just in the right, it's supposed to come in the perfect timing, right? Which is going to require you to be, okay, there's a lot to get into. Oh my God, I just feel like there's so much. Maybe because I'm holding this card. But I just will say one note real quick. Actually, right when I was about to start doing this reading, like I laid out these cards, and then I got a knock at the door, and I got a delivery for this new deck. So it came in right in the nick of time for this reading. And I feel like that's a message for you as well, is that what you need is going to come in at the precise time that you need it, or that you want it. Because I set the intention the other day that, I want to get this deck, and I want to start doing readings and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, right? So it literally came in when there was 2 spots here before I laid these 2 spots out. So that's sort of the idea here as well, is that your future self really wants to guide you. It wants to guide you. It wants to send you messages, like clearly, forcefully, very, it's messages that will hit you in the right spot. Like, what I mean to say is, it will just be the perfect message at the perfect time, right? So with this overrate your intuition in reverse, it's like there's this need to really get in touch with your intuition, which requires a lot of elements to it, which is really what this whole reading is about, right? So for one, it's like there's a big message here about conflict and drama. You have hostilities, conflicts, unrest. You have Anunnaki, controlling drama, conflict of interest. You have the 5 of Fire in reverse. So this is about letting go of, this conflicting, competitive energy, just not only within yourself, but within others as well. Where else? I felt like there was more. Even here with innovation and new creations in reverse. Like it's like this sense of polarity that I'm seeing here is like, on both of these. What type of bird is this? I don't know what type of bird this is. It looks like a hawk. Yeah, I think they're hawks. These hawks are both, it's like one is going to go this way, and then the other one's going to go that way. And that's like the sense of conflict that I'm seeing, like with these 2 men back to back. It's like one is facing that way and one is facing that way. Here we have the sun, here we have the moon, here we have light, here we have dark. And it's like these polarities, these opposing things, right? And then, there being conflict as a result of that. And I think your future self here is really wanting you to get out of this polarity, right? Conflict, polarity. There is polarity, I mean, everywhere, right? Like there's this and then there's that. But I think they want your relationship with polarity to ease up a little bit, right? And to maybe be, I don't know how to find the right words for this, but it not so much like this is good, this is bad, this is wrong, this is right, as opposed to that, like learn how to maneuver through the polarity and get a new perspective here with the Hanged One. It's just like having a different perspective of what this polarity is, you know? Like I'm just, for some reason, I keep thinking of like bipolar disorder, bipolar. So like there's depression and then there's mania. And I'm sure, and then there's like the middle point, right? So I'm just seeing like these emotions, right? And I'm tying this to the starseed, thing as well, because it's like, being like high vibrational and then low vibrational, being of the earth and then being a spiritual being, and then just like knowing how to maneuver in and out through those things, without like too much conflict or judgment within ourselves, within our bodies, right? Because here the message that's really wanting to come through is that, you are definitely a starseed, okay? So I'm just going to come out and just say that right here with self, memories, identity. So it's like they really want you to connect to this part of yourself, right? And it's like you need rest in order to connect to your intuition, to your inner self, right? It isn't about fighting what's on the outside. It's about sort of like going in internally and just finding rest and connecting to that part of you, because it's like from there your guides, your angels, with this angelite right here, really want to get into contact and communicate with you, like as we were talking about with your intuition, so they can deliver messages specifically for you that will help guide you in moving forward, and to bring and even with this justice card, it's like to bring balance back into into your way of experiencing life, right? Because with justice, it's like finding the balance of these polarities. It's not something to fight against, or even within yourself, because it's like when you're at odds, it's almost like you're at odds with the world because you're at odds with who you are on the inside. I don't know why I'm getting that. I just got that right now. It's because you're not in touch with, here it says identity, with identity in reverse with the starseed. It's like, there's a sense of like balance wanting to come in for you, and healing, right? And then with Mother Star, it's like, they want you to connect to this Mother Star, right? And here with this sword right here, I'm like, yes, like that's the truth of who you are. And then here with your intuition again, with these butterfly wings, like I'm getting this sense of transformation that wants to come through for you with healing in the world as well. And it's like, even with this, it's like there's karma, like good karma that is sort of waiting for you and it's going to like start unfolding for you once you're able to heal some of this conflict within yourself, which in turn is like creating conflict in like your outside world, right? And what you're projecting. And again, with this karma that I was talking about, it's like with the wheel in reverse, it's like with this hostilities and this disconnection and this black and white thinking, this sort of loss of knowing who you are, or this identity, this disconnection from your inner intuition, from this starseed sort of identity with your sense of self. It's like with the Nine of Pentacles here, I'm getting to, it's like there's this harvest that is going to come in for you, for what you're going to be able to create in your life when you sort of start connecting and start resting. Here we have a star again as well. And then with this rainbow that it's connected to, it's like, to me, this really represents like knowledge and information, because it reminds me of, I don't know if it's back in the 90s or something, NBC, it had like this star, and it's like, the more you know, and it'd be like an infomercial of, it'd give you a little tidbit. So it's like they want you to know more. They want you to know more. They want you to connect more deeply. And there's this sense of like forgiveness and rest that's going to come along with that, along with this abundance that's going to come in as well. And it's like, this is part of the lessons I sense for you, is gaining a new perspective on these polarities probably that you feel. And I think a big part of that is because, I think some of us, like our experience, I don't know how to put this. It's just, sometimes it's hard to be on the earth. You know what I mean? It's just hard to be on the earth. Because things are very polarized, and it's like, how do you navigate through that? How do you, successfully navigate through that? How do you still connect, with surrender to the divine? Like, how do you still connect, spiritually, right? And a big part of this is again, it's almost like I get the sense that there's like this key for you that needs to be unlocked, and it comes from forgiveness, which forgiveness is letting go of hostilities. It's of letting go of like this conflict, this black and white thinking, this all or nothing, wanting to hold on to this sense of justice, this sense of right or wrong. And a lot of it is a mental thing, a logical thing, like of this is right and this is wrong. And, it's surrendering and forgiveness is sort of like an acceptance of things, and starting to recognize like the gray areas, starting to embrace things that may not necessarily make sense to our logical minds, particularly with, looking at things from a more spiritual perspective, with the Hanged One, a more enlightened perspective, an upside down perspective, an intuitive perspective. It's like, I'm really getting this sense that like messages and what's meant for you wants to come find you, but you have to really start tapping into your intuition, which really requires you to find rest and forgiveness, and healing. And then through that, you'll be able to connect more intuitively, and it's like there's going to be this opening of your third eye, and your crown chakra, to really start to receive a lot of the information that is meant to help you heal yourself, perhaps heal others, and to help you, move into like the next cycle, for you, because it seems like there's been some like tough lessons along the journey, and it's very easy to get stuck in these loops, and sometimes when I got this sense right now of like, when something's not working out, and then I think we've all had this, where it's like something's not working out, and then we think, oh, well, we just got to do it, but we just got to try harder, and say it's like a relationship that's not working out or something like that, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I just got to try harder. or you're doing this diet, and that diet will even sound a little bit more crazy, but say you're doing a diet, okay, you're following this diet's not working for you, you're gaining weight, it's not working out, right? And you're like, oh, I just got to try harder, and it's like, well, no, like, it's just not working, and I don't know, get this sense of like, sometimes we get stuck in these mental loops, right? Where we just think, oh, maybe we just got to try harder. We got to fight harder. We got to do harder or whatever, when it's like, no, you're being asked to surrender. You're being asked to rest. You're being asked to innovate and create something new, a new way of thinking, and even with this hostilities card, like there's this like, panther here, and I don't know, I'm getting a sense of surrender here too, and again, it's surrendering from these polarities. Like, I keep seeing this hand up over here with forgiveness. It's like here and here, the wings here and here, back to back, sun and moon, right? And so, again, it's like there are polarities, but is it that we have to be at odds because of these polarities? Or it's like, what is the significance of these polarities? Like, what are they meant to teach us? Do they each have a place? It's like looking at things from a very different perspective. And I think a lot of abundance, a lot of just like harvest, I'm getting harvest, is like there's a lot for you to harvest and to learn from spiritually, from letting go of these old ways of thinking, right? Around polarities, right? And separation, because I'm getting that this is a big mental thing. So it's like getting out of this mental logic aspect of it, right? Letting go of the conflict. It's like your mind is too loud. It just wants to rest. And then it's like there's such an more easeful way to exist in the world. Even with the snake, like, ooh, I just got something with the snake. It's like, see how the snake is very slithery like that, and it's like, be wise like a serpent. That's what I just heard. And it's just like knowing how to maneuver through things, right? It's like, it's like reading the 48 Laws of Power. Like, I recently read that book, and it just kept calling to me to read it. And it's like, and I was really glad that I read it, because I'm like, now I get certain things, why certain things people act a certain way. Because there's a lot of things I didn't understand and I was at odds with. And it's like, now I just have to surrender and accept that this is just the ways of the world sometimes, whether I like it or not. But there are reasons for it. And certain things are human nature, right? It's sort of built into it, to us. So it's like, we can be this like light being, this higher vibrational being, but we still need to be aware of how the earth functions and how, how people move and do, certain things, right? And so that way we can protect ourselves, right? Without being angry or upset or disconnecting ourselves from our intuition. You know what I mean? So it's just being wise. This is like the wisdom, and sort of like flowing in and out. Like, I'm getting this sense of like flowing in and out, right? Because it's like, if we're at odds, it's like, if we're at odds, we're not in a state of surrender, right? We're not in a state of surrender, and we push, and then things are gonna push back at us in our experience, in our reality. So sometimes it's just like, slithering, through the grass, like, okay, going here or there, and just flowing with it. So yeah, so that is the message for your future self. And on this Mother Star card, the word yes is on here. So if you did have a question that you had for your future self, the answer for it is yes. And if it does relate to some of the unrest that you feel and if there will be healing that will come out of this for you, if you'll ever be able to have, a sense of justice, a sense of good karma, a way of like standing up for your beliefs without being oppositional, with just being more wise, like a serpent, in the way that you do it, right? Without just sort of like wielding this sword, like, and just going at it. Like, and I just heard, like, the pen is mightier than the sword. And there are other ways, more stealth ways to maneuver, right? So there can be a more peaceful way of getting the things that you want. And you'll be guided. You just really need to tap into your intuition. And like, there's so many messages that your guides have in store for you. They just need some quiet from you, some quiet, some settling, some healing, and they're going to guide you through that. Just like, with this scale right here, anyways, the scale thing right here. Like, I'm just seeing a card in the tarot, the Six of Pentacles, where like he's giving just like some crumbs, right? So it's not crumbs, but he's giving to these in a charitable way. Like, he's just rationing out how much he's giving. And I feel that's the same thing as like, your intuition and your guides are just going to give you just the right amount at each time that you need, right? Because even when you are giving to people, you can't overgive sometimes, right? It's just you got to give them what they can handle, what they can digest at that time, so they can, take it and integrate it, and then rest on it. Because like this, these changes are going to require, it's going to take some time, right? Because you are creating something new. And so this is like some big changes that you're undergoing right now. And I think that the more that you walk the path of just finding the serenity, like I'm just feeling serenity right now, that's wanting to just come over, the sense of serenity and forgiveness and surrender, of enlightenment, of, and I just feel your body just coming to this more restful place. And, that's really what your future self is really trying to guide you towards, this sense of inner, I just heard Agartha, like that, like that in Earth's core. It's like, this beautiful place that's within you. It's like wanting to cultivate. And with this Nine of Pentacles, it's like, cultivating this beautiful garden, this heaven that's within yourself, right? Yeah. And, but, of course you could still be very wise, right? You could still be very wise, like this serpent, and know how to maneuver, in, out in the world, right? And to still be able to stand up for what you believe is right, in a way that you are protected, right? Because, protecting your inner world is very, very, very important. And that is what your future self really wants for you, is to really have a protection for your inner world, to be like a beautiful place, and a place that is like very much connected to the mother star, right? To your guides, maybe your ancestors, maybe your mother from a different incarnation. I heard that as well for some of you. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is your reading, Group 1. I hope it was helpful for you. If you've made it this far, then please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. And I will see you in another reading. Bye, guys. Okay, Group 2, welcome to your reading. You have selected the Petrified Wood stone, and your card is Compromise in reverse, okay? So, message from your future self. Like, I feel like your future self is trying to lure you, like, and be like, okay, come, right? Come closer to me, like, I know the way. Anyway, that's sort of the feeling that I got. because he's trying, I said he. Maybe it's a male. I don't know. It's a male feeling that I'm getting. He's trying to guide you to come out of your shell, your expressive shell, so to speak. And okay, with compromise in reverse, I'm just getting this like, don't compromise. Don't compromise to fit in, okay? With the chameleon and reverse soul tribe, it is safe to be seen. Here it's like, you don't have to blend in, okay? You don't have to blend in this chameleon in social settings. And, the chameleon blends in for its own, it's like a survival mechanism, right? To blend into its environment so it doesn't stand out, so it doesn't, get attacked or anything like that, right? So it's a survival mechanism. So right now I'm thinking of the root chakra. And, even with humans, I mean, we all want to have this sense of belonging. It's almost like an instinctual thing where it's like a basic survival. And, it's this idea that like, with, was it Maslow's hierarchy of needs of having your base needs met before you can go on to fulfill, higher levels like self-actualization, creative expression, which is what we're seeing over here, which are these things that come later on. So the message from your higher self is don't compromise on who you are, in order to blend in order to have this sense of belonging with others. If you stand out, stand out. And, be free. Like here we have this earth magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles, and this freedom horse. And, to me, this is with removing obstacles is like, just get rid of anybody who you don't feel resonates with you, right? So some of the advice here when it comes to that is, there may be a sense of, I guess, loneliness that comes with not perhaps fitting in with like the vast majority of people, or just, here with poet, we have the poet card over here, which is expresses soul insights in symbolic languages. So we're getting a very creative individual, right? With creative expression, with freedom, with not compromising, don't blend in to your surroundings, don't try and fit in, because you're being told by your future self here that with the 3 of Wands in reverse, the 4 of Cups, it's like I just feel like nothing like when it comes to spiritually, like you're gonna feel the sense of like emptiness if you continue to be at odds with your own self, in order to blend in and whatever the case is. And I just feel too that once you start not compromising with who you are, and just also like putting yourself out there, maybe this is also a card of, your soul tribe will come in, but you have to be seen in order for you to bring them in, right? But in the meantime, it's like you have to be with this 9 of Pentacles. You have to sort of stand alone, right? And then you'll be able to attract the people that are your soul tribe, the people that are meant for you. There's this process of healing that comes in, and you're gonna have to go through these feelings of maybe rejection, abandonment, not feeling like you fit in. All these different types of things, and which is going to cause you to reach out to spirit, okay? And to, this finding stillness, reaching out to spirit. We have these 2 cards right here, and then I'm also seeing with the blue here. So this is like going to be an emotional sort of thing, and then, you're going to be able to move past these like deep emotions that are within you that come from this sense of like maybe not belonging or just being different, and I just feel like there's going to be a lot of healing that comes in with that, and then there's going to be a lot of expression that is going to help you transform, here with there's a butterfly here where it's like transformation, right? I'm getting transformation, and then this painting, and then there's poetry. So maybe it's through spoken word, maybe it's through your insights through writing, through could be writing, could be poetry, could be painting, could be drawing, could be art, any type of creative endeavor that's in you to express. This, it's like, I don't know, I just feel like there's some type of beauty that's going to come out of this healing, out of this, like, really, it's also about self-acceptance as well, right? And with this petrified wood, I'm hearing the word petrified, and maybe there's a part of you that is afraid or doesn't fully accept who you truly are, and would rather be like, okay, well, I could mute myself a little bit in order to blend in and to fit in. And with lunar eclipse right here, it's like maybe you feel like you've relied, maybe not relied on people, but you've blended in as it's like you don't know, you've been doing this for so long that you don't know what's going to be revealed. And it's a scary thing, what's going to be revealed about yourself. Like, what if you don't even like yourself or something? Because with this 7 of Cups, this is like about illusion, and it could mean anxieties. It could mean, and with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, it's like maybe it's a sense of like, low self-worth, not valuing yourself, and then, having this fear of like what may be revealed about yourself that you don't like, that's going to really disempower you in some type of way with this Magician in reverse, or that you may not have the things that you need, or some type of revelation that will come to be, and I think your future self here is trying to confirm for you, or trying to let you know that this is like sort of also an illusion that you need to let go of, that you do have everything that you need, and that, maybe you are a more eccentric type of person, or you have these eccentric things that are within you that you think may not be lovable, or may not, you may not even accept it, you may not even like it, or maybe it just seems extreme, right? But then there's going to be people out there who are going to love it. There's going to be people out there who are going to love it, and who are going to be so attracted to you, standing in that, and then they're going to see you as being just different, but like in a very abundant and valuable way, and in a way that, and I see that, like, not only are you going to feel good about yourself, and your sense of self-worth is going to go up, you're just going to feel, it isn't just about financially, but it's just a feeling of within yourself. So it's like that feeling of abundance, whether it's within yourself or outside of yourself. And people are just really going to be attracted to that, And so, like, you may think that, it's like a process, and it's a journey really to get to this state, from going from the 9 of Pentacles in reverse to the 9 of Pentacles upright. And you may have to go through this period where it is very difficult, and a lot of healing will have to come out from it, right? And a way of like finding sort of this equilibrium within yourselves emotionally, because maybe you do have very deep emotions. Like, I'm seeing the word extremes here, and then seeing all this blue. It's like maybe there are these very deep emotions within you. Even in her eye, like just this blue that's in her eye, it almost looks like, and it's like, can you guys see how it's like broken into these different, like, I don't know, sections? It almost has like this very tearful, sad, or something really deep about it, and then here we have water, and then we have fire, extremes and passion, right? So it's like this is going to be, it's almost like the fire that's going to be ignited within you to go ahead and really start creating these things. And it's really going to help you, but then it's also going to help other people, because there's this sense of like, you're just here on this side. It's like, I'm getting like, conflict, um, conflict with other people, different people's perspectives, ideas, the sense that like, no, like, do not people please, do not, it's not even people pleasing. It's like, I think sometimes when we are very in touch with our emotions, we do have a sense of like what other people want from us. We know how to make other people happy. And maybe this has been like a survival mechanism, is like knowing how to give people what they want, knowing how to, but then with the Knight of Cups, to me, it's like, especially in reverse, it's like, this isn't working anymore. I don't want to be this person that knows how to make everyone else happy, that knows how to, but like, I can't make myself happy with this Four of Cups in reverse. It's like this sense of like, no, I don't want more. Like, I don't like, I don't want any more. Like, it's almost like, I'm seeing this as people, these cups. It's like, I don't want any more people. Like, why? So I can find someone else to make happy. And then eventually I grow dissatisfied and feel like, oh, I'm not getting what I want out of this. But it's like, do you really know what it is that you want? Or is this something where you have to, have the courage to, to start removing these blocks, which could mean people. Maybe you have to fly solo for a while, because here with earth magic and fearlessness, removing obstacles, maybe people are an obstacle for you, especially with soul tribe in reverse. It's like, maybe, the people that you're around, like, are like this, and like in the Five of Wands, like, where it's like, they each have their own perspective, and then you guys are just trying to make it work somehow. But, in this particular card, they're not actually going at it. They're just, they're just, each person's just sitting in their spot, and they're like, okay, well, we are very different, but we're not really going at each other. But at the same time, we're not really helping each other. We're not really like vibing with each other, resonating with each other, supporting each other. That sort of thing. They're just each kind of taking up a spot in their own corners. And to me, when I see how each one of them has like a different shirt on, like this guy has polka dots, this guy, whatever, like, there's a sense of them slowing you down. Yeah, slowing down the stuff that's coming in for you. And so with this bow and arrow, like, to me, this is a card of like intuition as well. It's like intuition coming in. And with this bow and arrow, it's like it's coming in meant straight for you. And with it in reverse, it's like a block on it, or it's slowing it down, or it's like slowing down your expression, because it's occupying space within you emotionally, right? And it's not allowing you to remove and go deeper, with this finding stillness here is like this need to go deeper, within the depths of like your emotions and things like that, and then really start to look at these things that you feel, and then getting supported with it through reaching out to spirit, and starting to really allow yourself to be more free, allow yourself to be seen, allow yourself to really start to build up and really love yourself, accept yourself, find more stability within yourself, and accept this part of you, and then realize that, it's like, oh, I just heard like, what's that saying? Your biggest is your biggest gift, like your thing that you're insecure about. I don't remember the exact words, but it's like, your biggest weakness could be your biggest gift, because maybe for you in the past, like, it's been something that you felt down about, of this, like, of just yourself, like, just yourself, just of yourself, like, having to be the social chameleon. And maybe it's not even just socially. Maybe it has to do with your lifestyle as a whole. Maybe you work in a field that isn't creative. Maybe you're an extremely creative person and you don't even know it. It's reminding me of myself, actually, where I remember I attended this workshop at work. I used to work in accounting, and we all had these cards, and they all was like, either you're a practical person, you're a technical person, you're a creative person, you're a social person. And each of these cards had descriptions on them, and they had different colors. And so mine were both creative cards. And I was like, what? Like, I'm creative? Really? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not really creative. And then, like, later on, as time went on, I'm like, damn, like, I actually really am creative. And now that's, and I'm like, how have I not been doing this? Like, because it's just this sense of, like, just blending in, fitting in. Like, I could really relate to this. So this could not just be in social situations. Sometimes the chameleon is like something that's like been going on from such a young age. Knowing what you have to do in order to blend in, right? And it's like just to get your basic, no one wants to stand out, especially when you're young, right? Like, we learn pretty early what it is that we need to do in order to be liked, in order to fit in order to get our needs. And it's almost like, if I do this for you, if I make you happy, then maybe I'll be happy. If I can, it's this type of psychology, or this idea that that comes to be. And sometimes it's like, when we have to pull away, and others may not understand it, but we just have to do it for our own selves, because it's like we're going to be trapped in this like stagnation, really. And others may not understand it. You may not even understand it until you go through this process of healing, and to really see, like, what's deep within you. And then you get to share this and express this with through your artwork, through whatever it is. It doesn't have to be it's anything. It could be anything creative. Any type of expression. It could be verbal, it could be written, it could be anything. It's whatever you're led to. And the more obstacles you remove, the more stronger your instincts are going to be. The more desire, more passion. We have a lot of wands that want to, like, that's going to come in for you. And this sense of freedom. So it's like the message from your, I was going to say your higher self, even though we're talking about your future self, but it's your future self and your higher self wants you to be free, and again, I'm gonna talk about the root chakra. Maybe there's some work that you need to do around your root chakra and your survival, your sense of survival. Maybe there's healing that really needs to be done in that area for you. So just take a look into it. And again, just remember, like, man, like, just don't compromise. Don't compromise. Right? No matter what, do not compromise. Start to see things for what they are, and then start reaching out to spirit, finding stillness, and doing those types of things, and really start to look at whatever it is that's coming up from you, deep within you, that may be really triggering for you, and see, like, what it is that, that makes you feel like you can't maybe do it on your own, that you do need people, or whatever it is that comes up, that is sort of making you feel unstable, like, as a foundation. But in order for you to really be able to know what it is, and for your creativity to really come out and express itself, you're going to have to start removing some of these behaviors, some of these individuals, some of these patterns, and really allowing yourself to step into who you truly are, who is, a very independent being, who has everything they need within themselves, and is maybe even able to, with the soul tribe, it's like people are going to be drawn to you. People are going to be drawn to you, like the real you. And it's going to heal them in some type of way. It's going to bring harmony to them. This is really about here, like with the double sixes. Harmony. So it's like your future self, like as I was talking about in the beginning, it's like trying to lure you. It's like a cat that's in the corner or something, and it's like, it's okay, it's safe to come out. But with cats, you can't force the cat out of hiding, right? It's something that happens gently. And slowly, even with the lunar and the moon, it's these are very hidden things, and they're not going to come out by force. They're going to come out slowly, very slowly, and that's okay, because it's going to be a process. But yeah, so that is your reading. That is your message from your future self. It's just really letting you know that you are very creative. If you didn't know, I mean, maybe you do know. There's a lot of magic within you that wants to come to the surface, and that wants to be released and free. Like, look at these birds, right? They're just like, she's just releasing it. This horse to be unleashed. That's the word, unleashed. Like here, even with the magic, he has like this. It's almost like a magic wand that he's painting with, and I think that people are going to be so surprised. And I'm just looking at this envy, okay, the eye of envy. People are going to be envious at some point when you get to the other end of it, and they see what you've been able to accomplish. And they're going to be like, who? Like, group 2? Group 2 did that? Like, I didn't know that about you, And I think, this goes into, it's just, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole, subject of, a lot of people are just following some type of programming, and it's like, this is how you got to be, this is what we got to do, and it does take a lot of courage to really be who we are, and to explore that and take time out, because that's where the healing comes in, and it's tough, but it's so rewarding. So like I'm really looking forward for this for you, and yeah, I think this restlessness, this inner dissatisfaction, is going to, because I just get this itchiness over here. It's like this little, like, it's not like a big itch where it's like, because I started, like, I have eczema, so like I'm starting to get itchy right now, but it's not like this big itch. It's like this little itch. That's what I'm getting over on this side. It's like, maybe it's not something huge where it's like, oh, this is really bugging me, I gotta cut this out. It's like this general itch, this mild chronic itch, and it's like, no, like, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, but it's like this chronically, mildly annoying itch that it's like, oh, I'm not getting what I want, I'm not really happy, like, we're not fighting, I'm not completely at odds, we're all just chilling, right? But still, we all know, like, we're not really, this is not really working out. We're not really meant for each other. Maybe they don't know, but you're sort of like in the center, like, they're just relaxed. You're like, Anyways, that is your reading, group 2. All the best of luck to you. If you like this reading, please leave me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. Thank you so much, and good luck to you. Okay, group 3, welcome to your reading with this kyanite stone. Message from your future self. Okay, so I'm just going to say I feel like jittery and nervous a little bit with just how I feel. And I think it really does tie into this reading. So the message from your future self. Okay, so I almost feel all over the place. I'll start from, I guess, the top, which is communicate clearly here. To me, this is about being very clear and intentional with, especially with coherence right here, with your intentions, what you want. And sort of, okay, this says the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. So this is really about bringing your heart into the equation, and just having your heart and your mind, in sync with one another. So your emotions, your mind, in sync. It seems like there could be a big sort of disconnect. You're reading, all the cards here have a very emotional aspect. It's, I get the sense that your future self is really inviting you to incorporate more of your emotions and your emotional state, your subconscious, the more than just your analytical mind, more than just your logical mind, right, into how you maneuver in the world, right? So with wisdom in reverse, it's like there's this highlight of the inner wisdom that is, within you, within your body, within your subconscious, with around you, as well, the wisdom around you, with angelic assistance, divine guidance, loving support, with nature's healing powers. There's a lot of wisdom and power that is within you and around you, that you're going to be able to feel through your body, through your intuition, through your emotions, through just through your feelings as well, with joy here. With health checkup, I feel like, maybe you're a sensitive person, okay? There's a lot of water here, okay? There's a lot of water. Reflection, kindness, compassion. Maybe you're a sensitive person, but I get the feeling that with the Ten of Wands, burden, demands, overload, there's a heaviness that is on you. There's a heaviness on you with the Four of Swords in reverse, with the Ten of Wands here, with the two Eight of Cups in reverse that came out. And it's funny because it's like they're like positioned like symmetrical to on both sides, right? So I just get this sense like, there's a lot of weight that's on you, and there's this incoherence between your body, and it's like your body with health checkup. It's like your body's not having it, your future self wants to have you incorporate more of your feelings, and other forms of information aside from your logical mind, right? So like, say, okay, here's an example, to talk about what I'm saying. It's like really about taking your health into your own hands, right? Because your health isn't just about, okay, I did this test and I'm fine, right? There's so many things that go into your health, with, are you eating the right foods? How are your emotions? Are you stressed out? Are you overwhelmed? Like, those things affect your health, right? And it's like your future self is sort of bringing in this wants to bring in this a new way of thinking with this tower right here, right? A more intuitive way of thinking with this eye right here, to sort of, bring in a new way of thinking that allows you to look at all these other ways of being healthy, your emotional health, your spiritual health, all these sources of information. So here with the High Priestess, right? With the High Priestess in reverse, it's like, allowing the messages from your subconscious to come through and be pushed into your conscious awareness, right? That's information, okay? Angelic assistance, setting the intention, right? Setting the intention, asking the universe. It doesn't have to be angels. It could be whatever it is that you believe in. Setting the intention and asking, like, I need help in this area. Like, taking your health into your own hands, again, with this wisdom in reverse and health. Like, it isn't about putting it in the hands of other people, putting it in the hands of authorities and doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, like whatever type of health issue that you may have. You can ask the universe, like, hey, like, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's like, my intention is to feel calm and serene. Like, what can I do? Setting that intention, putting that out there, right? Synchronizing your mind to how you feel, as opposed to having, because sometimes we do this, we have like this idea of, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. Now I have to adjust my emotions, my subconscious. Like, I have to adjust everything to fulfill this outcome that I want. Where it's like, you're being asked to also factor in your emotions, and to just sort of be gentle, and part of that gentleness and letting go of this burden is like, you're going to be able to receive a lot more information from different sources. So whether it's your subconscious coming through gently, subtly, to your conscious awareness, giving you some sort of insights, right? With the Hermit card, introspection. This is about introspection, healing, inner work. So there's healing, even just doing, working on yourself, whether it's your thought patterns, your beliefs, your ideas, things that are within you that need to be released and to be let go of. That is going to have a profound impact on your physical health as well. Being in a meditative state, being more calm, being more serene. I almost see it as like, it's like flowing with the ocean, and the tide versus swimming up against it. Obviously, it's more taxing on your body in that way. And obviously, like, I don't want to say obviously, but even the way we absorb nutrients, right? If we're if we're eating a meal and we're in a rush and we're walking around, and we're not really sitting down having our meal, like really just absorbing our meal, absorbing the nutrients, it's going to be different, right? Our body, it's going to be different. So asking for assistance, knowing that we're supported. When you know that you're supported, it's a different process chemically in your body than when you feel unsupported. Nature's healing power, being in nature. I'm going to read the back of this. Nature's healing power. Nature is not only something we see with our eyes, but also something we feel and experience in our body, mind, and spirit. It can be wonderfully restorative to our overall well-being. Now is the time to let your body absorb the healing power that nature has to offer. So this is about mediumistic work. You have to remember that you're a vessel or conduit through which non-physical information flows. Every cell, every organ, every fiber of your being is used when you work at a high vibrational level. There will be times when your chi, your vital life source energy, could be running low. Spending too much time indoors will also disconnect you from your natural state, which can leave you feeling drained or lethargic. Okay, so, getting enough sun, spending quiet time by the river, by the ocean, listening to like rhythmic sounds of water, right? Because here and maybe also taking time to reflect, right? Because there's this big sense of your future self really asking you to bring in a really big change with the Death card right here and the Tower. A big change in the way you think, a big change in the way you function. Otherwise, I mean, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a warning, but it's like, it's like you gotta really sort of take care of this before this sort of Tower sort of comes in with your health. And I keep seeing these eyes all over the place. So it's really about going inward, this meditative state with Nirvana quartz, and just really being able to receive like these higher, with this clear crystal. Like, I'm just feeling like, these information being downloaded and coming through to you, and it's like you're not going to be able to hear it if you're so overburdened. So it's really about just taking the time to let go of whatever anxiety, stress that you have. With Mermaid of Lemuria, Joy, like, I mean, look at how peaceful she is. Like, she's in the water. Maybe you need to spend some time in water. Maybe that could be very relaxing for you. and with joy, I mean, the opposite of joy, it looks to me like this card, is overload, anxiety, worry, stress, demands, burdens, heaviness, being tied, you know. So, restlessness here, right? Knowing that there's something wrong, but not really taking the steps to change it, not really wanting to make this change in the way that we function. So, okay, so your future self is really encouraging you to be in alignment with your own self, within your own body. You can't be at odds with yourself, right? With Scorpio, again, it's another water sign, right? Letting go, like having this change, this major change, and this new beginning, right? Where you start to really, I have to say, value all aspects of yourself and really bring it into coherence with one another. And with this 13, I'm getting a 4, which is the number of like stability, to be able to stabilize within yourself, and also too with the 3 of Pentacles as well, and these mushrooms. And yeah, I'm seeing this guy as a teacher. I think that you're also going to be able to help other people in this area. Perhaps there, because this is something that I think a lot of people sort of have to encounter at some point in their lives. And I think especially now, a lot of people are moving towards this way of being where it's like they're realizing that, it's not just about going to get a checkup at the doctor. It's not like we're just not just physical. Like there's so many aspects of ourselves that we have to bring into consideration and that we have to bring into coherence in order to be integrated as a whole person, to be in integrity. Like our mind, our body, our spirit make up who we are. We aren't just physical beings. And I think that there's a lot of teachings and learning that you'll be able to share with other people that are going to come up from you, that it's going to come from your own inner wisdom, right? And when I say your own inner wisdom, I mean it's going to come up through your body, maybe through your subconscious. With the kyanite here, it's really just also about your subconscious, about connecting to the universe through angelic realms, the healing power of nature, whether it's sounds in nature, and just maybe even spending time in water and just really being gentle with yourself. Maybe this is a new sort of way of thinking, and a new change that needs to take place, because when I think of the element of water, I really think of like flow. I think of gentleness. I think of just soothing. I'm also getting, when you can just hear like a stream. So I did a shamanic journey yesterday. It's so interesting, actually. So, okay. It's funny because in my shamanic journey, an octopus came up, and then there was this sound of this water, this flow of water, and they're right here. So perhaps this message that came in through my journey is very relevant for you as well, because one of the things that I asked was like, how can I be more in flow? And so I think that this is what your future self is also wanting you, is to be more in flow. And like, how can you unblock yourself from this, like, to be more in flow? And one of the things that I got with the sound of the water, and all I could hear was the sound of the water, and it was this idea that like you need to be present, okay, present in yourself, present in your body, in order to be able to hear the sound of water. When your mind is going, when your thoughts are going, you're not going to be able to be present. You're not going to be able to hear the sound of the ocean in the background, right? Because your thoughts and all these things are overpowering it, right? So with the High Priestess here, it's like these messages are coming up through your subconscious, through your feelings, through the universe, through nature, right? But you're not going to be able to hear the sound of it because it's subtle, like the ocean, like this sound of water. So you need to be able to hear it. And then I also got this octopus as well, and just having this flexibility, right? Like when we see the octopus, again, it's another water animal, and the starfish. It's like being able to move on instincts. A lot of okay, so Starfish, I think they just move on instincts. They don't have a brain necessarily. They just move based off their instincts. And I think that it's not to say you should shut your brain down, but it's to be able to rely on, and then here we see all these eyes as well, right? This inner vision, to be able to just rely on it and just move with it without having to think so much. Without having to think so much, right? Being more in a meditative state and just flowing. I mean, it's making me think of, like, even when I read tarot, like, if you could see here, like, I have decks, cards from multiple decks. All I do is I grab this deck, that one, put one out, and it's just very instinctual, right? So it's like being flexible, like with the tentacles of this octopus. Look at, he has a third eye as well, right? You see his third eye? Hopefully you can see it right here. Okay. So, and he's just going in this direction, grabbing from here, grabbing from there. And that's what, your future self is saying. It's like, okay, you could grab from your subconscious. You can grab, when I said self-conscious, I look straight at the death card. Maybe there's a lot of, like, insecurities and fears and things like that need to, like, be addressed. Okay, I just got that message on the side as well. But, you can grab from different resources. These are resources, right? These are resources for you. These are different ways that, like, life and the universe and God or spirit or your body, the intelligence of your body, is trying to support you and to, like, it's like giving you all these cups to drink from, to help you be flexible, to move, to maneuver, to change. Like, you with these tentacles too, is like they don't have bones. Like, the way you see how cats, like, I just got this image of a cat. You know how cats can go under a door? Like, they'll just, like, go flat and just, like, maneuver under there. So it's like the same with an octopus. They don't have these bones like the way that we do. Or is it like mice that do that? I don't know, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? It's like having that ability to maneuver through these small, tiny places, these tight places, because of the flexibility, So I'm also getting this sense of flexibility that's necessary, and this sense of flexibility, like we were talking about anxiety, worry, and all these things, and maybe there's a rigidity to the demands that you put on yourself, that start to get overwhelming, So I think it's just really about, your future self is really advising you in this sense to really just start being more clear in what you want, more intentional in what you want, really bringing together yourself in an integrated way, and really factoring in your heart, your feelings, your emotions, and other sources of information that you have access to, other sources of intelligence, whether it's within yourself, your subconscious, your intuition, the universe, nature, and then also knowing that you do have the ability with this Tower card to change your mind. When I say change your mind, I'm talking about creating new neural pathways in your mind. That's, to me, the Tower is a big indicator of that, is like destroying old patterns of being, or old patterns of thinking, that may have you bound, like this Ten of Wands right here, right, in favor of something that is going to free you and make you feel like this mermaid of Lemuria, just a more joyful inflow experience, right? And then that is in turn going to be, better for you, better for your overall well-being, right? And I just saw something else. You see, is it a stethoscope? Yeah. So I just saw the heart beating. You know how the doctor will put...
Okay. I found this on the web for a stethoscope. Yes, so I just saw.
Okay.
Check it out.
So this is a confirmation because my computer Siri just turned on, and she's like, yeah, like she's looking up stethoscope for me. Anyway, Anyways, whatever. Back to the stethoscope. So, you know how the doctor will listen to your heartbeat? Yeah. I just had this heart beating, you know, and it's like it's time for you to listen to your heart because it's beating. Okay? And it's trying to send you a message. You know, from your innermost self with this hermit in this tower. It's trying to light something, like not light, but illuminate something for you before the universe will bring it in a way that, you know, you may not necessarily like. Okay, so yeah, so that is your reading, pile 3. I hope it was helpful for you. It's a very interesting reading, actually. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of exciting. I think there's some really, really big changes that your future self is really trying to bring to your attention right now, and it's gonna be exciting. I think it's gonna be very exciting, and I really want to end with by saying that, you know, it is a new beginning for you, and you know, it's really bringing in, you know, your heart, bringing in love, bringing in support, a lot of support, connecting with your guides with this kyanite, and just bringing in support from all different areas that perhaps like you didn't tap into prior to, and really just relieving you of some of these burdens and getting you out of this. I'm thinking of like a mental prison. It's like the prison of self, the prison of the mind, right? The prison of our beliefs sometimes, our demands of others, or like that others have placed on us, society, or whatever the case is, you know. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that for you. And thank you so much for staying till the end. And if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye. Okay, group 4 with black onyx right here. Here is the message from your future self. Okay, so what does your future self want you to do, want you to know? And the card that you selected was listen to your intuition. And I'm connecting it with the 10 of Wands right here. So maybe your intuition is already letting you know. If it is, then this is confirmation that your future self really wants you to put in the work, okay? Put in the work to expand your consciousness and to really, with a DT right here and read, and this 10 of Wands and strength, I'm just all of this, and then the black, it's just like I'm getting this, and the high priestess, it's like I'm just getting the sense of like your intuition is calling you to expand your consciousness, expand your knowledge. Even here with the snake climbing up, it's like the, you know, the tree of knowledge, like, you know, eating that apple from the tree of knowledge. It's like this ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, spiritual knowledge, eating from, what is it, the tree of knowledge? I don't know what they call it in Christianity, but eating from the tree of knowledge, is it? I don't know. Anyways, your future self is really encouraging you to take on that work, you know, to really get to studying. You know, and okay, because there's a lot of divine feminine energy here. Here we have divine feminine, birthing, fertility. We have a DT who is, you know, it's like this cosmic consciousness, this mother. We have this black with this mysterious feminine energy. We have the high priestess and the 9 of cups. So it's like with this, these two I'm getting is like the happiness, the contentment that comes from, and she has a black cat too, interestingly enough, from really diving deep into this like occult knowledge, esoteric knowledge, ancient wisdom, spiritual wisdom, with this skull here. And again, we have the snake, right? We have the snake, which to me is reminding me of this Lover's card with the apple and this temptation to want to, gain information, gain knowledge into like hidden knowledge, right? Stuff that I don't know, like it's so weird. Like I don't want to go off topic and start talking about like what was wrong with eating from this tree of life. I don't know. Anyway, and then just like I think this is just a big part of your identity, okay? With the skull, that's what I'm getting with this high priestess and this skull is this is just a big part of your identity, is this spiritual aspect of you, this thirst for this type of knowledge, this type of wisdom, maybe ancient like healing practices, astrology. Here we have, some astrology cards. Cosmic, I'm getting cosmic knowledge, astrology. Here we have shamanic. Well, this is a native spirit deck. So when I think of the drum, I think of like shamanic drumming, shamanic journeying, shamanic healing. So again, another ancient practice. So we have astrology, we have shamanism, we have like Hindu, maybe Hindu practices around healing, Ayurveda, things of that nature, right? And, your future self is really, really encouraging you to really expand yourself in this way. And they're saying like, yes, it is going to require effort, but it is going to strengthen you. Especially with healing in reverse, it's like maybe this is something that, with healing and the world in reverse, it's like this is something that maybe may unlock some healing capabilities that you're going to be able to share with the world, or it's going to help you heal some of, do some of the healing work for your inner self, for your own self, learn some lessons or some things that perhaps, it'll give you some insight on some lessons or some things that that you need to learn, that you need to know, that are going to teach you in some profound and big way. I think it's also too, it's like, because I'm getting a lot of fire on this side as well. And with this feminine energy is like, you're going to be able to create out of this knowledge, this expansion in your consciousness. It's interesting right now because I'm just seeing like there's a new moon here and then there's a full moon here. And I'm just feeling with this expansion is like, maybe also learning about the moon in some sort of way. I'm just feeling this expansion of like these cycles, learning about the cycles, the seasons, the cycles, different cycles that there are. The stars. I know we talked about astrology. I'm getting something with these mountains. It's almost like I'm getting like the Hermit and introspection, and like there's somehow a connection between expanding your consciousness isn't just about the outward expansion of learning about like the ancients or astrology or these things outside of yourself, but it's also encompassing within yourself. So maybe again focused on now like shamanic journeying. A lot of this is about, say, the dream state, altered states of consciousness, through drumming, through rattling, insights that come in through this way. A lot of these people, shamans or these practitioners, heal through these insights that come in, right? With this lightning, I'm getting the sense of it comes in very quickly. And, they're able to do something. And then here we have these creator fire cards. So it's intuition. It's going to also build your intuition. This is also going to build your intuition. So so that's the message I'm getting here. Also with the Six of Pentacles in reverse and reading in reverse, it isn't just about the study aspects of it and learning. It's also about the practice of it, using it, putting it into practice through, I don't know, different things. So like, for example, like if you do a workshop, it's not just about learning about tarot, it's also about practicing it and using it. And then, more insight will come in through that way as well. So so your future self is really encouraging you, because I'm getting a sense too that this is also necessary for your healing as well, because with this Queen of Cups in reverse, I just got this sense too that you're a very empathetic person, like a very strong person, someone who's able to carry a lot on their shoulders. And I think that with some of these insights that come through you through the practice of some of these intuitive arts, you're going to be able to learn how to deal with the world. And what do I mean by deal with the world? You're going to be able to figure out how to maneuver in the world, as an empath, as an intuitive, as a divine feminine, how to also, okay. So here we have Aries. So here we're talking about the divine feminine, and with fire and the wands and Aries, it's all about getting things started. And so maybe there's also this element of things coming in strong to help you finish tasks, to help you get started, bring in a little bit more of that masculine energy as well. So when you put some of these things into practice, I think also too, it's like your future self is letting you know that you're going to be more balanced and integrated within your own self here, like this merging of the masculine and the feminine, through this knowledge that's coming through this embracing. I see this triangle right now, this mind, body, spirits, masculine, feminine. I don't know what the third would be for that, but it's just like bringing things together, closing things off. So messages from your future self. So, also too is like, don't be afraid. Your future self is saying, don't be afraid of what comes up, when you are doing this work. Say like shamanism, maybe there's certain things that may feel a bit, there's areas in your subconscious that, may be scary, or maybe not scary. It's like, what I'm getting with this Page of Cups is like, the Page of Cups welcomes what comes up through his subconscious, and he just goes with it, right? He's very open to it. With it in reverse, I'm getting a sense, because I keep thinking of this Queen of Cups in reverse as well, is like this sense of like sometimes being overwhelmed by what comes up, and it's tied into healing as well in the world. There's some darker things that come up. I don't know. I'm just getting the sense of like, know that you're loved, that whatever comes up, there's always a balance to it as well. Like, how do I explain this? Know that you're loved. Like, know that whatever comes up for you, regardless of how heavy it can feel on your spirit. Okay, here's an example. So say like you're a very intuitive person, and sometimes you start picking up things about other people, and you're like, oh, I don't want to know this about people. I don't want to, I know I get that sometimes too. It's like when you get to start to be able to know people's intentions, and then you start to realize like, oh my God, like, start to see the world for a little bit more of like what it is, it becomes hard. And like, I know a lot of times people hide the darker aspects of themselves because they feel like they have to, that it won't be accepted or anything. And for me, like, I'm a very open person and I'm very accepting. And so sometimes like I will know things about people and it'll somehow come up inadvertently and I could tell they kind of get creeped out and they want to pull away. And hide that part of themselves. And it's like, well, I already know it and I still accept you, because guess what? I'm able to tell that about other people, like worse things, and it's really not that bad. I don't know. I'm just getting the sense of like, don't be too afraid of what comes up, what hidden information or secrets or whatever, scary, dark stuff comes up, you are loved and there is a balance to all of this. It isn't just like, so this may show, this like signifies some type of imbalance as well. But in the middle here, you have the lovers and this connection. So you're always loved in this sort of connection. Yeah, loved and supported. So here too, I even, maybe there's also knowledge about space, star systems, space. Because here I'm seeing a galaxy right here as well. So that is a message from your future self, pile 4, is this invitation to expand in your consciousness through study, through practice, through ancient systems, ancient beliefs, like we talked about, whether it's tarot, astrology, Ayurveda, Chinese, maybe there's Chinese, like, what's it called? Oh my God, it's like on the tip of my tongue. The one where they're like moving around, it's like, not Tai Chi, there's another Qigong, shamanism, and just see what sort of resonates with you. But a big thing is not just listening to your intuition, it's also strengthening it and really staying the course for it all the way through to the end, because it is going to play a really, really big part in your identity, I'm hearing. And it's really going to strengthen your inner voice. And it's also going to teach you how to protect yourself from just the energies that are around you as well. So, and unlock some of your healing powers in the world. Maybe you're a healer and there's, maybe you're not aware of it, maybe you are aware of it. Maybe this is something that I'm getting like past life. I just heard past life. It's, here with the skull, right? I'm getting like, it's a skull, it's an identity, and then this third eye, it's like I'm just getting this past life aspect to it as well. Maybe even things like, I just got lucid dreaming, right? Lucid dreaming is another thing. I mean, there's all these different ways, all these different things, right, that are outside of, all having to do with intuition, with the dream state, with the subconscious, with and I think for you, the more that you learn, the more that you know, the more that you practice, the more that you experience, especially here with Unfinished Symphony, it's like it's going to add more notes to missing notes from the symphony, and it will give you like a clearer picture, a bigger picture. That will bring you more into harmony, more more integrated within your own self and with the world around you. Yeah. So that is your reading, group 4. So it's your future self is really encouraging you to be confident, to be strong, to go for it, to put in the work. To get this done, and really, really finish, because here we have Unfinished Symphony. We have Aries, which is a cardinal. It's about getting things started. The Knight of Wands is a little impulsive. Get things going, maybe not finish it. So it's really about like pushing yourself forward, about staying the course till the end, to continuing on, to not giving up because of, maybe fear or overload that comes in, or fear or things that come up that, are hard to reconcile, about the world, about yourself, things like that. So yeah. So anyways, you are very, very supported. And I hope this reading resonated with you. If you liked it, please give me a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. And take care. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.